Okay. See, next note. If R, capital R, yes, and V are the radius, surface area, and volume of the nucleus. Radius, volume of the nucleus. So, then. So we know that R is equal to R naught a to the power of 1 by 3. This is constant. The R is directly proportional to a to the power of 1 by 3. R1 by R2. A1 by A2 whole to the power of 1 by 3. This is. And you know that surface area, yes, is equal to 4 pi R square. Surface area S is equal to 4 pi R square. So this is a constant. S is directly proportional to R square. S is directly proportional to R square means S is proportional to. So this is a to the power of 1 by 3 whole square because R is directly proportional to a to the power of 1 by 3. So R is directly proportional to a to the power of 1 by 3. That's why a to the power of 1 by 3 whole square. S1 by S2 is equal to S1 by S2 is equal to A1 by A2 whole to the power of 2 by 3. Next. So volume. You know, V is equal to 4 by 3 pi R cube. So this is a constant here. The constant. Either V is directly proportional to R cube. So V is proportional to R is proportional to a to the power of 1 by 3. So R is proportional to a to the power of 1 by 3 whole cube, and V is directly proportional to A. So V1 by V2 is equal to A1 by A2. This is the ratio of the volumes. Right. So త్వరగా completed. Complete అయిందా? Yes. See the next one. The nucleus of mass M the nucleus of mass M is at rest. Is at rest. Explodes into two fragments. Explodes into two fragments of masses M1 and M2. M1, M2, and the fragments are flies off with velocities v1 and v2 velocities v1 and v2 in opposite direction. In opposite direction. So number one here, the ratio of the velocities of the fragments. Velocities of fragments. So the ratio of the velocities of the fragments. Actually, here there is one nucleus is there. This is the one nucleus of mass here. It is at rest initially. This is at rest. So means initial velocity is equal to 0. Now this is explodes into two fragments. So explodes into two fragments like this. This is the mass M1 and it is the mass M2. So explodes into two fragments. If any body explodes into two fragments, according to the conservation of momentum, so these two must be moved in opposite direction. So momentum is conserved here. So momentum is conserved and these two must be moving opposite direction. The velocity of the first fragment is v1 and the velocity of the second fragment is v2. Okay. Second fragment is v2. And this is like one spherical sphere like axis like this. This is one sphere or spherical. The road is spherical. This is one spherical and it is another spherical. This part is another spherical. Like this. Suppose the radius of this one is R1. Radius of this one is R1 and radius of this one is R2. Radius of this one is R1 and radius of this one is R2. So you know that here there is, according to the law of conservation of momentum. According to law of conservation of momentum. See. According to law of conservation of momentum. Because momentum is conserved, because exclusion is due to internal forces. explosion is due to internal forces. So there is no external force acting on the system. If there is no external force acting on the system, the momentum is conserved. Momentum conserved. So the momentum before explosion, that is mv, is equal to momentum after explosion. So momentum after explosion means m1 v1 plus m2 v2 like this. So this m into v is 0 because mass into velocity, velocity is equal to 0, mv is equal to 0. So this is equal to m1 v1 plus m2 v2. It is m1 v1 is equal to minus m2 v2. So the magnitude of the momentum of the first m1 v1 is equal to magnitude of the momentum of the second. Right. Here they are asking that v1 by v2 is equal to m2 by m1. v1 by v2 is equal to m2 by m1. So v1 by v2 is equal to m2 by m1. Actually, you know that here mass is directly proportional to, so mass is equal to volume into density, 4 by 3 pi r cube into rho. So that m is directly proportional to r cube. So that is m1 by m2 is equal to r1 by r2 whole cube. Suppose the radius is given r1 by r2. In the place of m1 by m2, you can write that r1 by r2 whole cube. And you know that r is directly proportional to a to the power of 1 by 3. R is directly proportional to a to the power of 1 by 3. So this m is proportional to a to the power of 1 by 3 whole cube. So this is m is proportional to, what is that here? M is proportional to a, that is m1 by m2 is equal to a1 by. Okay, the mass number is given, suppose radius component mass number is there. So we can write that m1 by m2 is equal to a1 by a2. Suppose radius is given. Okay, here what I have to write? Therefore, v1 by v2 is equal to m2 by m1. m1 by m2 ante r1 by r2 whole cube. m2 by m1 ante what is that? r2 by r1 whole cube. Okay, this is the velocities. So ratio of the velocities. So alakakunda here r we can write that v1 by v2 is equal to m2 by m1 is nothing but a2 by a1. Okay, suppose it is mass number is given. So mass number is given, that is a2 by a1. Okay, and now suppose here in the above case, the ratio of the kinetic energy of the fragments here in the above case, the ratio of kinetic energy of fragments. So ratio of the kinetic energy of the fragments. You know the kinetic energy Ke is equal to P square by 2m. Kinetic energy is equal to P square by 2m. Here in this particular case, the momentum is constant. So momentum constant in this particular case, and this 2 is constant. So the kinetic energy is inversely proportional to m. So kinetic energy is inversely proportional to m means here the kinetic energy is inversely proportional to m. That is Ke1 by Ke2 is equal to m2 by m. So that is Ke1 by Ke2 is equal to, so m2 by m1. M2 by m1 is nothing but r2 by r1. R2 by r1 whole cube. R2 by r1 whole cube. And so r here, there is R2 by r1 whole cube. And this Ke1 by Ke2 is equal to A2 by A1. Okay. A2 by K1 is equal to A2 by A1. That is, so this is what is it? Kinetic energy, ratio of the kinetic energy of the fragments. Fragments. And ratio of the velocities, ratio of the kinetic energy got a same. Ratio of the velocity is R2 by R1 whole cube. Because momentum is constant. Momentum constant కాబట్టి. So momentum constant అయినప్పుడు ఎప్పుడైతే momentum constant అవుతుందో velocity is inversely proportional to mass అవుతుంది. And momentum constant అయినప్పుడు kinetic energy also inversely proportional to mass. Momentum is constant. The ratio of the velocity is R2 by R1 whole cube. This is A2 by A1, and the ratio of the kinetic energy is also the same. That is R2 by R1 whole cube and A2 by A1. Right now. Yes, completed. Yes. I think the problem నేను ఇచ్చినట్టున్నారు దీని మీద ప్రాబ్లం నేను ఇచ్చినట్టున్నాను ఈ కాన్సెప్ట్ మీద ప్రాబ్లము వర్క్ లో వచ్చింది కదా ఈ కాన్సెప్ట్ మీద ప్రాబ్లం yes okay. So next note. Note. A charged particle of charge Q the charged particle of charge Q is projected towards the nucleus of charge plus Q. Charge plus Q from infinite then the distance of closest approach of the charged particle, then the distance of closest approach. So then the distance of closest approach of charged particle. So distance of closest approach of charged particle. And the children, suppose here there is a nucleus. This is the nucleus. The charge of the nucleus is plus Q. This is the charge of the nucleus. So the charge of the nucleus is plus Q. Okay. Charge of the nucleus is plus Q. That is. So ikkada oka charge plus Q. This is a plus Q. A charged particle of charge is projected towards the nucleus of charge plus Q from infinite. Initial ga ee distance is infinite distance. So this is infinite distance. Infinite distance. Infinite distance means potential energy is equal to 0. So potential energy is equal to 0. It is projected with a velocity v. After kinetic energy is equal to what is it? Half m v square. This is the kinetic energy. So now it is projected like this. It is coming like this, coming like this, coming like this, coming like this, coming like this. So what is that? The velocity gradually decreases because of repulsion force between the two charged particles. So this is a plus Q and it is a plus Q. So because of repulsion, there is a energy, is a kinetic energy, velocity gradually decreases like this. So this charged particle is come to this position plus Q. Suppose here the velocity is equal to 0, the kinetic energy is equal to 0. So the kinetic energy is equal to 0. This is the distance of closest approach. Distance of closest approach. Here velocity 0 in tarvata and it is written back. This malla emoutundi meeku back written avutundi. Intakante close ga raaledu. So ikkadiki close ga vachindi suppose ante ఎంత క్లోజ్ గా వస్తుందంటే చార్జ్డ్ పార్టికల్ ఎప్పుడైతే వెలాసిటీ 0 అయిపోతుందో అంతవరకు క్లోజ్ గా వెళ్ళగలదు. సో అప్పుడు 0 అయిపోయిన తర్వాత అండ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ రిటర్న్స్ బ్యాక్ కి రిటర్న్ అయిపోతుంది. And here the kinetic energy is equal to 0, but the potential energy is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q into Q by R naught. This is the potential energy. Right? So according to the law of conservation of energy, according to law of conservation of energy. So according to law of conservation of energy, so what is that? Total energy, initial total energy is equal to final total energy. So initial total energy means potential energy plus kinetic energy of mv square is equal to final total energy. Final total energy means potential energy 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q into Q by R naught plus what is it? 0 plus 0. So now here there is so 1 by see half mv square. Half mv square is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q into Q by R naught. So the distance of closest approach So the distance of closest approach R naught is equal to, so this is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by half mv square. So this is the distance of closest approach. The distance of closest approach is that one. Suppose here, this is the distance of closest approach. Suppose in the above case, alpha particle is projected towards the nucleus of atomic number Z. If alpha particle is projected towards nucleus of atomic number Z. Alright. So towards the nucleus of atomic number Z, alpha particle kabatti charge Q is equal to 2e, and this Q is equal to ZE. R naught is equal to, so 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q ZE into 2e by half m v square. So this is R naught is equal to, so 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 2 Z e square by half m v square. Okay. So right. Is completed. This is the distance of closest approach. Okay, again, yes. See, there is, so next one is Einstein mass energy relation. So Einstein mass energy relation. See, Einstein mass energy relation. So according to Einstein, the mass of the body is converted into energy. You know that. According to Einstein, mass of any body is converted into energy as E is equal to mc square, where c is the velocity of light. C is velocity of the light. So E is equal to mc square, where C is the velocity of the light. So the mass of any mass is converted into energy. Any mass is converted into energy as E is equal to mc square, and C is the velocity of the light. Okay. So according to the Einstein mass energy relation. So mass is converted into energy. ఇప్పుడు మనకి ఇక్కడ చూడమ్మా, దీస్ ఆర్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ రా, నేను ఇప్పుడు రాసే ఇంపార్టెంట్. సో దిస్ ద ఎనర్జీ ఈక్వలెంట్ టు energy equivalent to 1 AMU, 1 atomic mass unit. So అంత మాస్ కి ఎనర్జీ ఎంత రిలీజ్ అవుతుంది? 1 AMU మాస్ కి ఒకవేళ ఎనర్జీగా 1 AMU మాస్ ఎనర్జీగా కన్వర్ట్ అయితే how much energy is releases? 1 AMU mass is converted into energy. How much energy is releases? So we know that 1 AMU is equal to 1.66 into 10 power minus 27. So 1.66 into 10 power minus 27 kgs. E is equal to mc square. So 1.66 into 10 power minus 27. So into 3 into 10 power 8 whole square. 3 into 10 power 8 whole square. So this is equal to 1.66 into 10 power minus 27. It is 9 into 10 power 16. This is 9 into 10 power 16. So this is equal to 14.9 into 1.66 is nothing but 14.94, I think, into 10 power minus 2716. 2716 means 11. Okay. So this is E. So it is in energy is in joules. Idi joules lo untadi ee energy. This energy is in joules. So idi joules 14.94 into 10 power minus 11. 14.94 into 10 power minus 11. So that is the energy. This energy is in joules. So this is the energy equivalent to, this is the energy equivalent to, what is it? 1 AMU mass. Suppose 1 AMU mass is converted into energy. How much energy is released? Ante 14.94 into 10 power minus 11 joules of energy is released. So that is converted into electron volts, suppose. If it is converted into electron volts. See, this is E is equal to 14.94 into 10 power minus 11 by, so this is 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. This is in electron volts. Okay. So that is in, what is it? Electron volts. So electron volts goes in the, see that here, this is 14.94 by 1.6 is nothing but, this is 10 power 19. Suppose if I converted into million electron volts means into, what is it, 10 power 6 here. So 10 power 6 that will converted into million electron volts. Electron volts, this is a million electron volts. 10 power 6 is written. So 10 power minus 19 into 10 power 6, then it is converted into million electron volts. So this is 931.5 million electron volts. This is the energy released, energy equivalent to 1 AM. Energy equivalent to 1 AMU mass. How much energy is released? Joules lo aithe nemo 14.94 into 10 power minus 7. That is million electron volts. In million electron volts, 931.5 million electron volts. Okay, 931.5 million. Suppose here there is a energy equivalent to this is energy equivalent to electron mass. Energy equivalent to electron mass. You know, mass of the electron in AMU 0.00055. Okay, 0.00055 in AMU. AMU. You could show 1 AMU is converted into energy 931.5 MeV. So in AMUs ante mass of the electron is 0.00055 into 931.5. So directly will come in MeV. MeV just. So this is equal to, this is energy of the electron according to, so Einstein mass energy relation 0.51 million electron volts. This is important. So this is energy equivalent to mass of the electron. When mass of the electron the energy convert aithe, how much energy it is released? Okay. So 0.51. So 11 or 0.51, whatever it is. 0.511 or 0.51. Okay. Next one. The energy equivalent to proton mass. Energy equivalent to proton mass. Now the mass of the proton is 1.007276 AMU. So 1.007276 AMU. Okay. So 1.007276 AMU. So the energy of the proton is equal to 1.007276 into 931.5 MeV. So this is equal to, so that is equal to 938.27 MeV. 938. So this is a 938.27 MeV. So this is energy of the proton. Energy of the proton. So now energy equivalent to energy equivalent to neutron mass. Energy equivalent to neutron mass. You know, the mass of the neutron is 1.00866 AMU. 1.00866 AMU. So 1.00866 AMU. This energy of the neutron is equal to 1.00866 into 931.5 MeV. So this is equal to 939 point. It is 938. It is 939.56. This is 56 MeV. This is the energy of the neutron. So we can write that energy equivalent to neutron is greater than energy equivalent to the proton is greater than energy equivalent to electron. Energy equivalent to neutron is greater than energy equivalent to proton is greater than energy equivalent to electron. Okay, so that is. This is how to convert the mass into energy. ఇప్పుడు మాస్ ఎనర్జీగా కన్వర్ట్ చేసేటప్పుడు ఇప్పుడు చూడండి, టు కన్వర్ట్ మాస్ ఇంటూ ఎనర్జీగా కన్వర్ట్ చేసేటప్పుడు సపోజ్ మాస్ ఈజ్ ఇన్ కేజీ. If no, if m is in కేజీలో ఉంటే అప్పుడు ఎనర్జీ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు, యూ హ్యావ్ టు రైట్ దట్ mc స్క్వేర్. ఎనర్జీ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు mc స్క్వేర్ డైరెక్ట్ గా. నౌ విల్ కమ్ ఇన్ జౌల్స్ లో వచ్చేస్తుంది ఆన్సర్. జౌల్స్ లో వచ్చేస్తుంది ఇప్పుడు m కేజీలో. ఒకవేళ ఇఫ్ m ఈజ్ ఇన్ AMU, atomic mass units. M is in AMU, atomic mass units. Then E is equal to M into 931.5 MU. Atomic mass into 931.5 is there. సో డైరెక్ట్ గా మీకు ఎంబీబీలో ఆన్సర్ ఇచ్చేస్తాను. అంటే మాస్ దేంట్లో ఉండాలి? ఏఎంబీలో ఉండాలి. ఇలా మాస్ ఏఎంబీలో ఉంటే m into 931. సో మాస్ కేజీలో ఉంటే mc స్క్వేర్ అయ్యింది. దట్ విల్ కమ్ ఇన్ జౌల్స్, ఇట్ విల్ కమ్ ఇన్ ఎంబీబీ. ఓకే, మిలియన్ ఎలక్ట్రాన్ వోల్ట్స్. Next, the next one is mass defect. Mass defect. Delta M. Mass defect. అసలు ఏంటి మాస్ డిఫెక్ట్ అంటే? ఇప్పుడు ఒక న్యూక్లియస్ ఉన్నది. న్యూక్లియస్ ఇస్ దట్. The mass of the nucleus is given, suppose. The mass of the nucleus. So mass of the nucleus we called, what is it? M. I called it. This is the mass of the nucleus. M is that. So this nucleus consists of protons and neutrons. Protons, neutrons, protons, neutrons. It consists of protons and neutrons. Generally, what we expect is, అసలు మనం ఏం ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ చేస్తామంటే ఇక్కడ the total mass of protons and neutrons is equal to the mass of the nucleus. And the total mass of the constituent particles, these are the constituent particles. The total mass of the constituent particles is equal to the mass of the nucleus. We have to expect. మనం అలా ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ చేయాలి, అంతే కదా. ఏదైనా ఒక బాడీ ఏదో కొన్ని పార్టికల్స్ తో కంపోజ్ అయింది అంటే, సో వాట్ ఇస్ ద మాస్ ఆఫ్ ది బాడీ అంటే మాస్ ఆఫ్ దట్ పార్టికల్స్ by which it is composed. So the total mass of the particles by which it is composed. Generally we have to expect like this. మనం దాన్ని అలా ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ చేస్తాం. కానీ ఇక్కడ see that here Yes. Now here, see, actually it is not like this. The mass of the constituent particles, total mass of the constituent particles is not equal to the mass of the nucleus. Is not equal to the mass of the nucleus. So there is some difference between the total mass of the constituent particles and mass of the nucleus. Some difference is there between the total mass of the constituent particles and mass of the nucleus. That the difference of the mass of the constituent particles and mass of the nucleus will be called mass defect. అదేమవుతుందో తర్వాత చూద్దాం మనం. అసలు మాస్ డిఫెక్ట్ ఏమైంది అనేది తర్వాత చూద్దాం. బట్ వాట్ ఈస్ మాస్ డిఫెక్ట్ అంటే దిస్ ఇస్ ద మాస్ డిఫెక్ట్. సో మాస్ డిఫెక్ట్ అంటే అది. సో వాట్ ఈస్ మాస్ డిఫెక్ట్? అసలు మాస్ డిఫెక్ట్ అంటే ఏంటి? సో వాట్ ఈస్ ద మాస్ డిఫెక్ట్? సో మాస్ డిఫెక్ట్ అంటే see that the difference of mass of the constituent particles, see the difference of mass of constituent particles is, see the difference of mass of the constituent particles and actual mass of nucleus. Actual mass of nucleus is called, what is it? Mass defect. That is called mass defect. So the difference of mass of the constituent particles, and actual mass of the nucleus. The mass of the constituent particles and actual mass of the nucleus is called mass defect. That is mass defect. And see here, there is how to find out that mass defect. The mass defect name ఎలా మనం find out చేస్తాము. Okay, how to find out mass defect? Yes, how to find out the mass defect? ఏ విధంగా మనం mass defect ని find out చేస్తున్నాం. Okay, ఏ విధంగా mass defect ని find out చేస్తాం అంటే ఇప్పుడు చూడండి, the total mass of the protons. So constituent particles are, what are the constituent particles? Protons and neutrons. So protons and neutrons కాబట్టి here total mass of protons, జాగ్రత్తగా చూడండి. So total mass of protons, total mass of protons. So total mass of protons. So ఎన్ని protons అంటే ఒక న్యూక్లియస్ తీసుకుంటే that we called XZA here. XZA. How many protons are there? Z protons. So Z protons are there. Protons and neutrons. Neutrons is nothing but n is equal to A minus Z neutrons. A minus Z neutrons. Any nucleus is considered. XZA is that nucleus. So symbol of the nucleus, there is Z protons and n neutrons are there. So mass of the total mass of the protons MP is equal to Z. What is it? Total mass of the protons is equal to. So we can write that Z MP. MP is the mass of the each proton. MP is the mass of each proton. So total mass of neutrons. Total mass of neutrons. So total mass of neutrons. So total mass of neutrons is equal to, what is it? A minus Z into Mn. A minus Z into Mn. That is the total mass of the neutrons. So total mass of constituent particles. Total mass of constituent particles. So total mass of constituent particles. Total mass of the constituent particles and mass of the protons plus mass of the neutrons. So mass of the protons plus mass of the neutrons means Z Mt plus A minus Z Mn. A minus Z Mn. That is the total mass of the constituent particles. Okay. So here the total mass of the constituent particles Z Mt plus A minus Z Mn is not equal to capital M. It is not equal to capital M. Two equal level. So allow me, but here ZMP plus A minus Z Mn is greater than the mass of the nucleus, actual mass of the nucleus. M is the actual mass of the nucleus. This M is actual mass of nucleus. Actual mass of nucleus. That is. So the mass defect, therefore, there is some defect is there. So therefore, what is it? Mass defect delta M is equal to. So the difference of the mass of the constituent particles and actual mass of the nucleus. The difference of the mass of the constituent particles and actual mass of the nucleus. The difference of the mass of the constituent particles and actual mass of the nucleus is what is it? ZMP plus A minus Z Mn minus capital M. This is mass defect. Okay. So this is called mass defect. It is the mass defect. Right? So that is the mass defect. So mass defect is equal to, what is it? ZMP plus A minus ZMn minus M is there. Okay. Suppose here, this is the nucleus actually. Nucleus. Okay. That is a nucleus. So now see, suppose if I consider that atom gonna తీసుకుంటే, see, this is a plus ZE is the nucleus. Nucleus is plus ZE. Okay. And this is the mass of atom. M atom is equal to, suppose mass of the nucleus is actual mass of the nucleus, what we call capital M. Capital M is the actual mass of the nucleus. Capital M, actual mass of the nucleus. మరి ఇక్కడ ఏమవుతూ ఉంటే దీని అటామిక్ నెంబర్ Z అయితే, so here electrons are revolving around the nucleus. How many electrons are there? Z electrons. Z electrons are there. So how many electrons? Here Z electrons. Z electrons. So the mass of each electron is Me. So the mass of the atom is equal to M atom. So we can write that M atom, and in terms of the mass of the nucleus. That is the mass defect in terms of the mass of the nucleus. In terms of the mass of the atom. So mass of the atom is equal to mass of the nucleus plus mass of how many electrons? Z electrons. ఎన్ని ఎలక్ట్రాన్స్ ఉంటాయి అంటే మాస్ ఆఫ్ ది ఆటమ్ అంటే న్యూక్లియస్ మాస్ ప్లస్ దీని చుట్టూ తిరిగే ఎలక్ట్రాన్స్ మాస్. దీని చుట్టూ ఎన్ని ఎలక్ట్రాన్స్ తిరుగుతాయి అంటే ఈ అటామిక్ నెంబర్ ఎంత ఉందో అన్ని ఎలక్ట్రాన్స్ తిరుగుతాయి. అటామిక్ నెంబర్ Z ఉంటే Z ఎలక్ట్రాన్స్. మరి Z ఎలక్ట్రాన్స్ మాస్ వాట్ ఇస్ ఇట్? ZMe బేసిస్. ఇప్పుడు మాస్ ఆఫ్ ది న్యూక్లియస్ ఇస్ ఈక్వల్ టు M atom minus Z M atom minus ZMe. Okay, so that is M atom minus ZMe. That is mass of the nucleus is equal to M atom, or mass of the atom is equal to M plus ZMe. And ఇప్పుడు నేను ఏం చేస్తున్నానంటే హియర్ దీనికి ఈజీగా రావడం కోసం మనకి డెల్టా M is equal to ZMP plus ZME. ZMP plus ZME plus A minus ZMN minus M minus ZME. అంటే నేనేం చేయలేదు ఇక్కడ ప్లస్ ZME తీసుకున్నా, ZME యాడ్ చేసాను, ZME సబ్ట్రాక్ట్ చేశాను అంతే. దీంట్లో నేనేం చేయలేదు. ZME యాడ్ చేశాను, ZME ని సబ్ట్రాక్ట్ చేశాను. సో ZME is added, ZME is subtracted. Yes, ZME is added, ZME is subtracted. ఇక్కడ ZME ని యాడ్ చేశాను, ZME ని సబ్ట్రాక్ట్ చేశాను. అప్పుడు ఇక్కడ ఏం రాసుకోవచ్చు? Z into MP plus ME, Z into MP plus ME plus A minus ZMN, A minus ZMN. So minus of M plus ZME, minus of M plus ZME. And here what is it? ZMP plus ME, mass of the proton plus mass of the electron, is nothing but mass of hydrogen atom. ఎందుకంటే హైడ్రోజన్ ఆటం మనకు తీసుకుంటే హైడ్రోజన్ ఆటం లో ఒక ప్రోటాన్ ఉంటుంది, ఒక ఎలక్ట్రాన్ ఇన్వాల్వ్ అవుతుంది. సో ద మాస్ ఆఫ్ ది హైడ్రోజన్ ఆటం ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు మాస్ ఆఫ్ ది ప్రోటాన్ ప్లస్ మాస్ ఆఫ్ ది ఎలక్ట్రాన్, mass of the proton plus mass of the electron. So the mass of the proton plus mass of the electron is nothing but mass of the hydrogen atom plus A minus ZMN minus this is mass of atom. So this is delta M. So this is the mass defect in terms of mass of the atom. The mass defect in terms of the mass of the atom is the mass defect in terms of mass of the atom is delta M is equal to ZMH. Delta M is equal to ZMH. So this is ZMH. So that is the mass of the hydrogen atom plus A minus ZMN minus mass of the atom. So it is in terms of the mass of the nucleus, ZMP plus A minus ZMN minus M. M is the mass of the nucleus. Here in terms of the mass of the atom, so mass of the atom is mass of the nucleus plus total mass of the electrons. So that is delta M is equal to ZMH plus A minus ZMN minus mass of the atom. This is the mass defect. Okay, mass defect is that one. Right? Adhamainda, what is meant by mass defect? All of you understand? Yes. Yes, completed. అరే ఎందుకు కన్సిడర్ చేసామంటే ఏం లేదు, వాడు మాస్ డిఫెక్ట్ ఇన్ టర్మ్స్ ఆఫ్ హైడ్రోజన్ ఆటమ్, మాస్ ఆఫ్ ది హైడ్రోజన్ ఆటమ్ ఇచ్చి మాస్ ఆఫ్ ది ఆటమ్ ఇచ్చి మాస్ డిఫెక్ట్ కనుక్కోమంటున్నాడు. సో మాస్ ఆఫ్ ది హైడ్రోజన్ ఆటమ్ ఇస్తున్నాడు, డైరెక్ట్ గా ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఇస్తున్నాడు. అందుకని in terms of mass of the hydrogen atom రాసామంతే. ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ మాస్ ఆఫ్ ది హైడ్రోజన్ ఆటమ్, మాస్ ఆఫ్ ది ఆటమ్ ఇచ్చి ఫైండ్ మాస్ డిఫెక్ట్ అంటే డైరెక్ట్ గా నీకు తెలిస్తే బాగుంటుంది కదా అని చెప్పాను అంతే. మరి ఆగురా, న్యూట్రాన్ ప్రోటాన్ డికే చెప్పడానికి ఇంకా టైం ఉందిరా, అప్పుడే అవ్వదు. అసలు స్టార్టింగ్ నుంచే మెసేజ్ స్టార్ట్ చేసావు కదరా, ఇంకా ఉంది డికే, ఇంకా టైం ఉంది. న్యూట్రాన్ ప్రోటాన్ డికే టైం చాలా ఉంది, ఇంకా రేపు అవుతుంది, ఇప్పుడు అవ్వదు. ఇంకా ఉన్నాయి, దీని ముందు చెప్పాల్సినవి ఉన్నాయి. డికేస్ చెప్పడానికి ముందు చాలా ఉంది. సరే ఇస్తే ఇచ్చారు లేరా, పొరపాటుని ఇచ్చుంటాం లేరా, పొరపాటుని ఇచ్చుంటాం, పక్కన పెట్టేది. రైట్. Okay. So now there is a packing fraction. Packing fraction. What is meant by packing fraction? The mass defect per unit nuclei. Mass defect nucleon. The mass defect per unit nucleon is called packing fraction. The mass defect per unit nucleon is called packing fraction. And this packing fraction is equal to F is equal to delta M by A. Packing fraction, the mass defect per unit nucleon. Unit nucleon and A, number of nucleons here. This is delta M by A. So this is the packing fraction, or another definition also is there from the packing fraction. The difference between nuclear mass, the difference between nuclear mass in AMU nuclear mass in AMU and atomic mass number and mass number. Mass number, the name of N. So mass number A per unit nucleon. Nucleon is called, what is it? Packing fraction. Packing fraction. That is called packing fraction. So what is it? Packing fraction is equal to delta M by A. So ఇది 1, according to the definition. According to this definition, packing fraction is equal to the difference between the nuclear mass and the capital M, mass of the nucleus, and mass number A by A. So this is a packing fraction. Packing fraction, we have to find out that like this also. So this must be in AMU. Capital M is must be in AMU. That is the mass of the nucleus. Mass of the nucleus, that must be in AMU. And see that ఇక్కడ ఆ క్యాపిటల్ ఎం అనేది ఏ కంటే లెస్ ఉండొచ్చు, మోర్ ఉండొచ్చు, సపోజ్ సమ్ టైమ్స్ ఈక్వల్ ఉండొచ్చు. క్యాపిటల్ ఎం ఈజ్ లెస్ దాన్ క్యాపిటల్ ఏ అండ్ క్యాపిటల్ ఎం ఈజ్ మోర్ దాన్ క్యాపిటల్ ఏ అవ్వచ్చు, క్యాపిటల్ ఎం ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు ఏ అవ్వచ్చు. సపోజ్ if capital M is greater than A, capital M is greater than A, then what is that? Packing fraction is a positive. Packing fraction is positive. Okay. If capital M is equal to A, capital M is equal to A, then what is that? Packing fraction is 0. Packing fraction is equal to 0. If capital M is less than A, then packing fraction is a negative. Packing fraction is a negative. So generally, packing fraction is inversely proportional to stability of the nucleus. Packing fraction is inversely proportional to stability of the nucleus. And the packing fraction more unte less stable, packing fraction less unte more stable. Packing fraction less unte nemo more stable, packing fraction more unte less stable. And packing fraction more is nothing but to suppose here more, it is a positive is that packing fraction. Positive unte that is less stable. So packing fraction negative unte that is more stable. Less value kada, less value that is more stable. Packing fraction is inversely proportional to stability. Stability is inversely proportional. This is what is meant by packing fraction. So the mass defect per unit nucleon is called packing fraction. So packing fraction is equal to delta M by A, or the difference between the nuclear mass in AMU and mass number capital A per unit nucleon is called packing fraction. So F is equal to delta M by A. F is equal to M minus A by A. So the packing fraction is inversely proportional to stability. If capital M is greater than A, then F is a positive. Capital M is equal to A, then F is equal to 0. Capital M is less than A, then F is negative. Okay, F is negative. So now there is a binding energy. Binding energy. What is meant by binding energy? So binding energy and see. Binding energy. BE, binding energy. So what is meant by binding energy? The energy equivalent to mass defect. The energy equivalent to, according to the Einstein mass energy relation, the mass is converted into energy. Mass energy got converted. So the energy equivalent to energy equivalent to mass defect. Energy equivalent to mass defect is called binding energy. Energy equivalent to mass defect is called binding energy. Or the energy released when the proton and the neutron are combined inside the nucleus is called binding energy. Or energy released when proton and neutron are combined. Inside the nucleus. It's called binding energy. It's called binding energy. The energy absorbed to split the nucleons inside the nucleus. Energy absorbed. To split the nucleons. Nucleons and protons and neutrons inside the nucleus. Is called binding energy. So this is what is meant by binding energy. So the energy equivalent to mass effect according to the Einstein mass energy relation. That is the binding energy. The energy released when the proton and neutron are combined inside the nucleus is called binding energy. The energy absorbed to split the nucleus. The energy released when the protons and neutrons are combined. Protons and neutrons combined energy release అవుతుంది. ఒకవేళ ఆ protons and neutrons ని split చేయాలి అంటే protons and neutrons ని split చేయాలి అంటే what is that? Protons and neutrons split చేయాలి అంటే compulsory energy is absorbed. So this is binding energy. This is binding energy. So how to calculate this binding energy? The binding energy calculate చేస్తాం. It is completed na packing fraction. Packing fraction అయిపోయిందా రాసారా? Packing fraction అయిపోయిందా? Yes. Yes. So the binding energy, calculation of binding energy. So the energy equivalent to mass defect, delta M into C square. Energy equivalent to mass defect, delta M into C square. This will come in joule. Delta M is in case. That's case. Okay, now. And appudu binding energy is equal to delta M ante what is that? ZMP plus A minus Z Mn minus M into what is that? C square. So this must be in joules, that is in joules, and this is in what is that? Kc. This is in case. Okay. So now binding energy is equal to delta M into 931.5 MeV. Okay. So delta M into 931.5 MeV. So this delta M is must be in AM. Must be in AM. So that is binding energy is equal to. So this is ZMP plus A minus Z Mn minus M. Okay. into what is it 931.5 MeV and అప్పుడు ఇది మొత్తం కూడా దేంట్లో ఉండాలి AMU లో ఉండాలి. This is a binding energy. Binding energy is that one. So this is the way we have to calculate the binding energy, mass effect into energy C square or mass effect into 931.5. Mass effect into C square and mass effect compulsory kg లో ఉండాలి. So answer will come in joules. So mass effect into 931.5 I say mass effect compulsory దేంట్లో ఉండాలి AMU లో ఉండాలి. So that answer will come in what is it? So binding fraction. Binding fraction. Binding fraction. So the binding fraction is nothing but the binding energy per unit nuclear. Binding energy per unit nuclear. Binding energy per unit nuclear is called binding energy per unit nuclear is called binding fraction. Binding energy per unit nuclear is called binding fraction. So the binding fraction is equal to what is it? Binding energy by this is binding energy by. See the binding fraction is directly proportional to stability. Binding fraction is directly proportional to stability. And packing fraction is inversely proportional to stability, but a binding fraction is directly proportional to stability. Binding fraction more ante more stable, binding fraction less ante less stable. Okay, so binding fraction is directly proportional to stability. So this is what is meant by binding energy. The energy equivalent to mass effect is called binding energy. So the energy released when the proton and the neutron are combined inside the nucleus is called binding energy, or the energy absorbed to split the nucleons, protons and neutrons inside the nucleus is called binding energy. Okay, and how to calculate the binding energy? The binding energy is equal to delta m into C square, that is in joules, and the binding energy is equal to delta m into 9.5, that is in MeV. So that MeV is there, mass must be in AMU. If it is in joules, mass must be in K's. Okay. అయిపోయిందా ఇది అయిపోయిందా ఇటువైపు మొత్తం బోర్డు మొత్తం ఆఫ్ చేయండి. సో నెక్స్ట్ ఐ విల్ కమ్ టు దట్ బైండింగ్ ఎనర్జీ కాదు బోర్డు మొత్తం బైండింగ్ ఎనర్జీ కాదు. yes binding energy curve. So binding energy curve. Generally, binding energy curve is like this. First, I have to draw the curve. So this is the binding energy for a nucleon, and this is the mass number. Binding energy per nucleon mass number graph is there. That is a binding energy curve. Okay. So this binding energy curve is come like this. that is like this. Come like this, the binding energy curve. So here in this region, there is some kinks are produced in this region. Kinks are produced in this region. This is the binding energy curve. Curve is there like this. Okay. So here there is this is 8.5 MeV. 8.5 MeV. So this is 7.7 MeV. Okay, 7.7 MeV that is. So that is 8.5 MeV, that is 7.7. Okay. See that here, what is this binding energy? Binding energy is what is it? The binding energy curve. So this is and here there is an intermediate region. Yes, like this. So first, what is it? There is a plot is drawn between binding energy per nucleon and mass number A is known as binding energy curve. So a plot is drawn between binding energy per nucleon and mass number. So the binding energy per nucleon and mass number, this is binding energy curve. So here, deuteron having a minimum binding energy, whereas the iron having a maximum binding energy. Deuteron. And ikkada deuteron untadi. That is 1H2. So what is that? This binding energy is 1.1 MeV. Iron, this is iron. Fe, this is. So iron, that is Fe. The binding energy is 8.8 MeV. This is 8.8 like this, 8.8, 8.5, and 8.8. Okay. So iron, what is that iron? Fe56 iron 5626. So this iron having a more binding energy per nuclear. So more binding energy per nuclear unte more stable అని తెలుసు మనకు. అంతేగా more binding energy per nuclear unte 5626. So the binding energy per nucleon is directly proportional to stability. It is more binding energy per nucleon, that is more stable. Okay. Suppose uranium is there, uranium 23592. Yeah. This is uranium 23592, having a binding energy 7.7 MeV. 7.7 MeV binding energy is there. So the nuclei of atomic mass number, the nuclei of mass number lies between 30 and 170 are called intermediate nucleus. So 30 and 170. So between these two, 30 and 170, this is 30 to 170 nucleus. So these we called intermediate nuclei. So these we called intermediate nuclei. So this intermediate nuclei possess more binding energy per nucleon and there is a more stable. అందుకని ఈ రీజన్ లో ఉండే న్యూక్లియన్స్ ఈ రీజన్ లో ఉండే న్యూక్లియన్స్ మోర్ స్టేబుల్ గా ఉంటాయి బికాస్ హ్యావింగ్ మోర్ బైండింగ్ ఎనర్జీ పర్ న్యూక్లియర్ more stable. So the nuclei of mass number A is less than 30. So this is A is less than 30. So this side is A is less than 30. Okay. So this side is A is less than 30 here. That is A is less than 30. That side. So A is less than 30 are called lighter nuclei. So these takes place in the left region of the binding energy curve. So these are lighter nuclei. ఎందుకంటే mass number less ఉంది కాబట్టి lighter nuclei. So these are in the left region of the binding energy curve. So binding energy curve in this region, so maxima and minima are produced. This is maximas and minimas. Things maximas or minimas are produced in this region. So the maximas or minimas are produced. The maxima are associated with nuclei having same number of protons and neutrons and even number. ఇవి maxima అంటే here same number of protons neutrons ఉంటాయి but even number ఉంటాయి, that is maxima. And minima represents the same number of protons and neutrons but odd. And this is what is that? Suppose He24 is there. This is He24. Okay, this is He24, and this is C612, and this is O816. Okay, and so on like this. That is this maximas and minimas. So minimas is nothing but Li36 and N714. Okay, F918 like this and so on. So these are the maximas and represents the same number of protons and neutrons but even. So proton 2, neutrons 4-2, even same number of protons, and everywhere same number of protons and neutrons, same number of protons and neutrons even. So here also same number of protons and neutrons are there, but it is odd. Odd is there. That is odd. Okay. So here in this region, left region. In this region, so two or more nuclei are combined to form a intermediate nuclei. Two or more nuclei. In region low, two or more nuclei are combined to form an intermediate nuclei. Rendu kalisipoyi ituvaipu vastayi and gets the more stable. So that process is called nuclear fission. Nuclear fusion. This is ikkada ee region lo em jarugundante, so nuclear fusion combined అవుతుంది కాబట్టి nuclear fusion takes place in the left region of the binding energy curve. So the two or more light nuclei are combined and come into the intermediate region by increasing its mass number. So mass number increase చేసుకుని ఇటువైపుకి వచ్చేస్తుంది. ఇటువైపుకి వచ్చేస్తే it gets more stable వచ్చేస్తుంది. And see that here the nuclei having mass number greater than 170. A is greater than 170 here. So this is this region, that is the right region of the binding energy curve. So are called heavy nuclei and are unstable. These heavy nuclei are unstable. That is, so these are at the right region of the binding energy curve. For getting the stability, these heavy nuclei splits into fragments and come into the intermediate region. ఇవేమవుతాయి అంటే స్ప్లిట్ అయిపోతాయి. split into fragments and come into the intermediate fission and gets the stability. So that we call nuclear. What is it? So that process is called nuclear fission. Nuclear fission. So nuclear fission takes place in the right region of the binding energy curve. Nuclear fusion takes place in the left region of the binding energy curve. So nuclear fission takes place in the right region of the binding energy curve. Nuclear fusion takes place in the left region of the binding energy curve. Okay. So to get stability. So the nucleus having either number of protons and the number of neutrons in any one of the massive numbers. అంటే ఏవి మోర్ స్టేబుల్ గా ఉంటాయి అంటే ఏ న్యూక్లియస్ మోర్ స్టేబుల్ గా ఉంటుంది అంటే సో జనరల్ గా ప్రోటాన్స్ న్యూట్రాన్స్ నుండి ఈక్వల్ గా ఉండి ఈవెన్ గా ఉంటే మోర్ స్టేబుల్ బికాస్ మోర్ బైండింగ్ ఎనర్జీ స్టెబిలిటీ మోర్ గా ఉంటుంది కంపేర్డ్ విత్ అదర్ సో ఇంకా the nucleus having either number of protons or number of neutrons, any one of the massive numbers. The nucleus having either number of protons or number of neutrons, any one of the massive numbers, then that nucleus gets more stable compared with a neighboring to compare chesappudu that nucleus gets more stable because it is more binding energy per. So the massive numbers are, what are the massive numbers? Massive numbers. So massive numbers and 2, 8, 20, 28, 50, 82, 126. These are the massive numbers. So, and the number of protons gani, number of neutrons gani, any one of the massive number. Number of protons, number of neutrons, any one of the massive number. So, any one of the massive number, that is more stable compared with neighboring. Neighboring to compare chesa. More stable ga untadi. This is what is meant by binding energy curve. So, నేను చెప్పిన పాయింట్స్ త్వరగా రాయండి. ఆ పాయింట్స్ రాస్తే ఈ రోజుకి ఆపేస్తాను. త్వరగా పాయింట్స్ చెప్తాను రాయండి. నేను ఏవైతే పాయింట్స్ చెప్పానో a plot is drawn between binding energy per nucleon and mass number A. Binding energy per nucleon and mass number A is known as binding energy curve. Is known as binding energy curve. Second point. Deuteron within the bracket 1H2 having minimum binding energy per nucleon, having minimum binding energy per nucleon within the bracket 1.1 MeV, 1.1 MeV, whereas iron Fe2656 having a maximum binding energy per nucleon, having a maximum binding energy per nucleon 8.8 MeV. Then kinda uranium 23592 having binding energy per nucleon is 7.7 MeV. 7.7 MeV. Next point. The nuclei of atomic mass number. The nuclei of atomic mass number lies between 30 and 170. Lies between 30 and 170 are called intermediate nuclei intermediate nuclei and possess more binding energy per nucleon. Possess more binding energy per nucleon and more stable. Possess more binding energy per nucleon and more stable. Next point. The nuclei of mass number. The nuclei of mass number A less than 30. A less than 30 are called lighter nuclei. Are called lighter nuclei. These are takes place these are takes place in the left region of binding energy curve. In the left region of the binding energy curve. The left region of the binding energy curve. In this region, maximum and minimum are produced. In this region, the maximum and minimum are produced. The maxima are associated with nuclei having same number of protons and neutrons. Same number of protons and neutrons and even number. Same number of protons and neutrons and even number. Example, He24, C612, O816, etc. He24, C612, O816, etc. Then kinda. The minimas are associated with nuclei having same number of protons and neutrons. Same number of protons and neutrons, but odd numbers. Same number of protons and neutrons, but odd numbers. Example, lithium 36, Li36, N714, F918. F918. In this region, within the bracket left, two or more nuclei are combined to form an intermediate nuclei and release energy. Intermediate nuclei and release energy. This process explains nuclear fusion. This process explains nuclear fusion. Then kinda, another point. The nuclei having mass number. The nuclei having mass number A greater than 170. A greater than 170 are called heavy nucleus and are unstable These are at the right region of binding energy curve. These are at the right region of binding energy curve. Right region of binding energy curve. For getting stability, the heavier nuclei, splits into fragments, of mass numbers less than 170. This process explains nuclear fission. The nucleus having either number of protons, or number of neutrons, in any one of magic numbers, write down that magic numbers 8, 2, 8, 20, 28, 50, 82, 126. 2, 8, 20, 28, 50, 82, 126. Any one of the magic number, that nucleus possesses more stable and more binding energy per nuclear. That nucleus possesses more stable and more binding energy per nuclear. More stable and more binding energy per nuclear. Right? So this is what is meant by binding energy curve. Okay. So next I will